Filmmaker Dave Riggs had been contracted to document Australia's first large-scale great white shark tagging project. The team's aim was to tag adult great white sharks so they could study their patterns of movement along Australia's coast.
I remember looking at one of them, thinking, wow, she's just a magnificent looking animal. It's only 3 meters long. It didn't have a mark on it. When she first came in, she came in with a real swagger, like a real confident, bold move, and then just pushed up against the dinghy and gave us an opportunity to tag her, and he placed his tag perfectly.
Codenamed Shark Alpha, the healthy female left the scene without any sign of distress. 4 months later, Shark Alpha's tag was found by a beachcomber. The device washed ashore 2.5 miles from where it was attached to the shark. Its data revealed an incredible story.
When I was first told about the data that came back from the tag that was on the shark, I was absolutely blown away.
At 4 a.m. on Christmas Eve, the shark suddenly plunged at high speed straight down the edge of the continental shelf.
It showed this profile going down the shelf to 580 metres and then a huge temperature change.
Within seconds, the shark tag recorded a dramatic temperature shift from 46 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. A temperature that could only be achieved inside the belly of another living animal.
The question that not only came to my mind, but everyone's mind who was involved was, what did that? It was obviously eaten. What's going to eat a shark that big? What could kill a 3-metre great white?
The tag recorded 78 degrees for 8 days, moving between the surface and a depth of 330 feet before it was released. There was no doubt the seemingly indomitable Shark Alpha had been attacked and eaten by a super predator of the deep.
Target 136901, initial radiogram and sketch. Sketch this object, and I had an AWOL of a rock man. Right, moving on, the next part. Did the sketch, I had an AWOL of a hooded person concealed. Getting this AWOL like a dish, like a cup, AWOL cup holder. Down below, sketch this sort of like topography. And this like object that resembles a fish, AWOL laid out type of feel, like this thing laying on his side. And that was that for this. The next part, I had an AWOL of a ship's bow. Off it, I had this like AWOL of energy, like an energy anomaly. AWOL advanced energy spread. It's emitting like some form of energy from this object. Moving on, I was getting these sketches of AWOL tiered steps. Nothing definitive, and that was that. Right, moving on to this next part, I had this idea after radiograms of this like device, AWOL the heart device. Didn't sketch it in detail, and I was going the next part down. I was getting this idea of this like something going down towards something, but this idea of like 2 fingers touching something. I had an AWOL of Princess Diana for some reason. And 2 fingers touching, and that was it. Next part, I was getting this crane looking thing, AWOL hospital, AWOL bed device, and this sort of like long elongated thing with a lower part to it, and I had an AWOL of a coffee table, like a modern type of one. Right, next part, I sketched this thing at the top. It reminded me of like an eel with this flaying sort of idea of this moving outfit on it. strange, I know, but that was that part. Like, I AWOL'd a tent. This thing was moving around, and I had a camp in a field feel to this, like a tent in a field. An AOL, but that was that. Right, moving on. This next part, sketch this sort of topography at the top. By this AOL had this face near it. The bottom was sort of the land. I had like barren land. This idea of this face in it, and like a schism, a crack, like a weird type of crack. And I had this AOL, a weird AOL of the face on Mars, and that's all I was getting here. I was getting another sort of AOL. I had an AOL tooling. I don't know what that means. This pattern was evident pattern, this prominent thing. This idea of like winding stairs, this thing tears up like that to a point. I had a cabinet at the bottom, AOL, like AOL control booth. Not sure where I was going. This part now, I had this AOL of being laid out. This idea again of this like flailing attire, this sort of like spread outfit feel to it. Like this thing moving round, royalty feel down. This thing, like, it's humbling. I've done Aronas. I don't know what Aronas means. Sketch, similar sketch again. I've done this weird small head for a big body. AOL set in stone. So whether this has got like a rocky appearance, a rocky feel to it, stone-like look to it. That was it. Again, a sketch of something looking up. AOL looking upwards, like, and I've done who and sketched his face of this person involved in all this. Yeah, and that was it. I had a strange AOL of a starfish at the top, and this idea of this leaning man. I don't know what that was about. Just this person leaning to one side like that. I sketched this sort of area. The idea of a ridge was prominent, and I sketched this thing again, and I had this idea of like a face deformity to it. Another AOL of the flailing thing, that robe feel to it, like this thing moving round. I've done flailing and sparks on it. So whether this thing is emitting energy, maybe. Next part, I had this AOL of rocks. Another AOL of boys in the sea, like moving around. Bottom down there, I sketched this, like this water perception of. I had this AOL of like a Star Trek shuttle, like the old sort of Star Trek shuttle, like on water, like bobbing. And the next part down, I wrote down AOL bobbing up and down. The data give me a thing obscured by light. This like energy coming from it. This weird odd perception. And that was it. Tried sketching it again. AOL of a person of doom. Like this impending doom linked to this thing. I had another AOL Legion of Doom, which is an old, early WWF wrestling team, which I'll post a little link of from my childhood. Last off for this session, I sketched this image of what I perceived to be a flying bug. AOL the flying bug. This thing is like small at the top, like what tears down, like with a piercing sort of top to it, with like flails like that as it goes. And that's all I had for this target. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.